everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today I'm filming a really quick intro because we're going to jump right into some meal prep. I've got a pretty good array of foods to meal prep this week, and I've had a few little challenges, so I'm sure I'm going to mention this a few times throughout the video because it did take me 2 days to finish my meal prep, but my power was out repeatedly this week. And I have an electric stove, and all of my appliances are electric, my smaller appliances. So it was a little challenging, but I got it done. So let's jump into our meal prep. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get my rice going in my rice cooker. I have a 1.5 cups of white rice here. And if you don't have a rice cooker, you can do this in the Instant Pot, or you can cook this on the stove. I know that you can buy rice frozen. You can also get the instant rice. So whatever your preference is, just go ahead and get that. So I'm just gonna dump that right in here. I'm gonna rinse this really quick, so hold please. All right, so I have that rinsed. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in just shy of 3 cups of water. And then I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of salt. Now normally I would flavor my rice, but I really want some white fluffy rice to go with my rice bowls this week. So we're just going to shut the lid, hit the on button, hit the white rice button, and walk away. We're gonna work on our breakfast next. I have 6 eggs cracked, but I thought I'd take a break from that and go ahead, and I have this broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the microwave and get this steamed and ready to go. All right, I have that ready to go. I'm gonna crack just a couple of more eggs, and then we're gonna start to throw this egg bake together. Yeah, maybe one more. Now you could choose to put whatever you want into your eggs. I just like to put a splash of water in, just to make them whisk up easier. Our seasoning today that I'm going to be using is this garlic and onion, black pepper, and sea salt. This is by McCormick's. I really like this because of the fact that it just makes it easier than having to grab several seasonings at once. All right, that looks good. Go ahead and get these whisked. All right, those are ready. I'm gonna put my eggs away. As soon as that veggie mixture gets done, we'll come back and we'll put this dish together. I'm gonna grab some spray, and I'm gonna spray my pan just to make sure it doesn't stick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and throw this together and get this into a 350-degree oven, and I usually just cook it until it's brown. It's been a while since I've made this, so I'm thinking maybe 25-30 minutes. I'll have to come back and let you know exactly how long that takes. I cooked this a minute shy of what it stated on the package. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour that in. And I'm gonna go ahead and chop a couple of these veggies just to kind of, so I'm not getting big, huge chunks of things. All right, this is cooled down. I have my egg mixture here. We're gonna scoot this down a little bit. And we're gonna add our secret ingredient. Can you guess what it is? Fat-free cottage cheese. It's going to kick up the protein a little bit by adding the cottage cheese, plus this is going to make it creamier and make it a little cheesier. Probably, I'd say almost a cup of cottage cheese in there. Just going to give it one more stir. And then we're going to pour that right in. All right, get all that yummy goodness in there. Just gonna get those veggies down in there to make sure they're good to go. I might throw just a little bit more seasoning on top just to make sure it's seasoned well. Plus it gives it a really pretty color. All right, so this is going into a 350-degree oven, and I'll let you know once it's done. Slide it back over, how long it actually takes to bake. All right, my rice is done. And of course the dog has to drink her water right now. So look at that fluffy white rice ready to go. So I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit, and then we will get it ready for our lunch bowls this week. It smells so good. All right, we're gonna set this aside. Sticky, fluffy rice. All right, so that's ready. Our egg bake is almost done, and then we'll jump back into our next item that we're gonna be prepping. All right, now I'm going to put together my fajita mixture, and this is on repeat at least once a month at my house just because of the fact that it's so good and so easy to throw together. So I have some green pepper and onion just chopped up here. You can also use some frozen ones too if you want to make it even quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the onions in the pan first. I'm going to saute those. I always feel like the onions take longer to cook than the actual peppers. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these sauteed up, and then I will come back and add in my peppers. Okay, we're going to give those onions one last stir, and then we're going to get the peppers in. And again, if you want to throw all of them in together, please feel free, but I always find that this works a little bit better for me. Also, as I am getting those into the pan, again, you just want to saute them up just a little bit and get them ready, because the next thing we're going to throw in is our meat and then, of course, our seasoning. So I'm going to let that saute for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. All right, so now that these are looking pretty good, we're gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our ingredients. You see that I have the 99% lean Jenny O ground turkey, and this is one of my favorite brands. And I like it because, again, it is 0 points. So far in our pan, we have onions, green peppers. We're going to go ahead and dump in our meat. Now, if you wanted to pull this out, pull out your veggie mixture and then cook your meat and then add it all back in together, you could also do that. I was in a hurry, so I figured I was just gonna throw everything in together. We'll just break that up, and then we'll just continue to stir it till it's cooked all the way through. One last thing that I like to do is I like to add a little bit of water, because if you're using that 99% lean ground turkey, it does tend to dry out. So adding just a touch of water really helps that not dry out. So if you haven't tried that trick before, definitely give that a try. All right, the next ingredient that we're going to add in are some sliced mushrooms. And if you're not a mushroom fan, leave out the mushrooms. I love mushrooms, so any opportunity that I can get to throw mushrooms in, I definitely take it. So I'm going to go ahead and give that one last little stir. I don't like to have big chunks of that meat in there, so I just continually try to chop it just to break those up as it's cooking, and it seems to work out really well for me. So we're going to keep chopping here, and then we're going to go ahead and get those mushrooms added in next. All right, so since that all seems to look really good, I'm just going to smush all that stuff on one side of the pan and then go ahead and get our mushrooms in. And do you have to do it this way? No, I just would like to get those just to cook down a little bit more. And I thought that maybe using them inside the pan, on its own side, they would cook up a little faster. Again, some of these had larger chunks, so I just went ahead and used that same chopper, chop those up, and then we'll have nice little pieces running all the way through our fajita mixture. All right, our mushrooms are looking good. I'm going to go ahead and fold those mushrooms into the rest of that mixture and get it ready for our fajita seasoning. Doesn't that look yummy? just watching this over again just makes my mouth water, and I've been eating it for the last couple of days. So with this, the fajita mixture of choice, the seasoning mix that I love, is the Kroger brand. If you have a Kroger near you and you have not tried this fajita seasoning, give it a try. 2 teaspoons, 15 calories, very low in points, and the flavor is so powerful. It is so good. So it will flavor up this entire mixture, and I like to put it in, add a little bit of water, and then just let it simmer for a few minutes. Let it cool, and then I will get it into bowls. So doesn't that look yummy? Just wait till it all gets mixed in. It's so good. Okay, so I have a pineapple that my friend Pam gave me because she wasn't going to use it and was really afraid that it was just going to go bad. So I pulled out my handy dandy pineapple slicer. I don't know, I think I paid $5 for this thing years ago, and it comes with the slicer itself and then a little yellow thing that you can actually make it into like tidbits. You know, it kind of cuts it into smaller pieces. I hardly ever use that thing, but I do, however, love the pineapple slicer. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the top off the pineapple and set that aside. And I like to place the bottom, there's a little bottom round piece right at the core. So I'll put a little mark here for you just so you can see how I line it up. Just line it up around there. And then I put it back in the little spot. I press down and I just twist it. And as you're twisting it, it just goes down in and it starts to spiral and cut the pineapple. It doesn't take much pressure, so it's not like you have to be super strong to do this, but it's really cool because of the fact that you just keep twisting, and you'll twist until you feel like, you'll almost feel like you start to hit the bottom. And once you feel like you've gotten to that point, then you will just have to pull it out. That does take a little bit. It's just, you just have to get it into the right thing, and I just kind of wiggle it. And as long as you're wiggling it, it will pop right out. So let me pull here. I'm pulling. You see how I'm wiggling it there? I know that's a little off camera, but boom. Look at that. Pineapple slices, and you don't have to mess around with that core. So pineapple done. I'm going to go ahead and get my knife, and I'm just going to cut it. Like I said, I don't use that thing. I probably should just toss it and not, keep pulling it out of the box, but I typically will just run my knife down in a couple of spots and it pops right off of this thing. Cleans up really easy. I don't know who sells it. I mean, I have no idea. Again, I paid like $5 for it. So if you can corner across one at a decent price, grab yourself one. Okay, so now we're gonna just continue on with our fruit prep. These cantaloupes were on sale at the grocery store, so I thought I would get one. It's been a while since I've had a cantaloupe, and I thought it would pair very well with that breakfast bake that I made. And it just seems like it would just be nice and fresh. And I like to have some fresh fruit when I'm having that egg bake so that I don't feel like I'm really missing the toast or, like a side of bacon or anything. So fresh fruit always works really well for me. So I find it best when I'm making or when I'm cutting up a cantaloupe just to go ahead and peel it so that you've got all of the outside done. And I always miss that spot on the bottom. Let me know in the comments, do you also, if you peel yours like this, do you also miss that little spot on the bottom and you always have to go back through and clean it up a little bit just so that, you don't run into the stuff you don't want to eat? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this off of my cutting pad, and then I'll come back and show you how I prep the rest of it. All right, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Grab a spoon, take the seeds out, and just go around and around until you get the seeds out. I'm gonna dump that into the garbage, and then we will do the next one, and then I'll show you how I cut it up. And you can really just cut these up however you want. I mean, some people like to have them in slices, like in long slices. I prefer to have mine in more of like smaller chunks, because 9 times out of 10, I'm really pairing this with something else. And I'm usually eating it with a fork, you know, while I'm working, or, you know, while I'm multitasking doing something else, because it just seems like I'm always multitasking doing something. So you can see I'm cutting it in long slices, and then I'm just going to come back through with my knife and cut them into chunks. And you can see it does not take that long. And I really like having fresh fruit prepped and ready to go, because if you want something to snack on and this is already prepped, you're more likely to grab this versus grabbing something else. Now, if I was looking for a snack and this was sitting on the counter, trust me, if it wasn't peeled and cut and ready to go, it would not be my first choice. Now we're going to make some protein ice cream. I had ordered a sample pack from Clean Simple Eats. It came with 10 packets, and then I ordered a couple of single packets. So today we're going to test out the German chocolate cake. And we're going to need a couple of ingredients. We're going to need the protein powder. We're going to need vanilla, sugar-free, fat-free, pudding mix, and almond milk. So just those 3 ingredients, and then we're going to get them mixed up and put together, and it's going to be so, so good. And let me tell you something. I actually went out and bought myself some ice cream cones. So when I make these, I actually scoop it out and put it in an ice cream cone. They're absolutely amazing. So in our container, we're going to add in 10 ounces of milk, and that is 10 ounces of unsweetened almond milk. We're going to add in 1 teaspoon of the sugar-free, fat-free pudding mix, and then 1 packet or 1 scoop of any type of protein powder that you have. And let me tell you something, I really wish we had smell-o-vision, and you guys have heard me say this before, because this tasted, I mean, it smelled like German chocolate cake. You could smell the coconut from the frosting and the chocolate. It's just, I cannot wait to give this one a try, because it is going to be so good, or I'm hoping that it's going to be so good, because this is actually the first one of the packets that I've tried. So 100 calories, 20 grams of protein. If you want to kick up your protein a little bit more, use the Fairlife milk. And the Fairlife milk I know has more protein in it, but I always have the almond milk on hand. I've got my handy dandy little frother here. I'm just going to go ahead and froth this up inside the cup. I know my hand's in the way, I'm so sorry. But I'm just going to go ahead and mix this together, froth it up in the cup, and then I'm going to stick it in the freezer for 24 hours. Once that's done, I will pop that right into my little Ninja Creamy machine, and it will go ahead and spin it and make it into ice cream. It's so good. So you see that? Done. Okay, so I think I have everything out here. As I think I probably already told you, this meal prep took me 2 days because my power kept going out for the past couple of days. So here's that egg bake. I'm going to cut this in probably 6 pieces. I can also freeze this, but I can also have it for a snack. So I'm either gonna, maybe I'll cut it into 4 pieces and just have a really big breakfast. So egg bake, 0 points. Here is that pineapple. Here's my cantaloupe. Wouldn't all fit in that container, so there's my cantaloupe. I have 2 containers of this chicken. It's actually turkey fajita, but they're like chicken fajitas. So I'm gonna put that, oh, my rice is in the fridge. So I do have white rice made for this. So these are gonna be my chicken fajita rice bowls. And I have some shrimp in the fridge. I might one day throw some shrimp in with this. I think that'll be really good, and it's a little extra protein. All right, for snacks, you've seen that I made that Ninja Creamy. I already have 2 of these in the freezer, but I wanted to try this flavor and try this protein powder, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one in and try this in the next couple of days. Baby carrots for snacks. I have nectarines. Here are my protein bars that I'm going to snack on this week. The Built Puffs, you know I love those. Although I'm not an ambassador anymore for Built, I still love their puff bars. So I have these, and I have a couple different flavors still. This Bearable bar, one of my friends, Connie, gave me this, so I'm going to be trying this one this week. I've not tried the Alani bars before, so I'm going to be trying this Rocky Road bar this week. And of course, Quest is just an easy go-to. You can find these anywhere. So I'll be having a choice of these four. And I have really been enjoying my protein coffees in the morning. So this week I have a caramel, I have pumpkin spice, and I have a vanilla. And of course, you know, I have all my skinny syrups up here if I want to change that vanilla into any different flavor. All right, so this is my meal prep for the week. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I inspired you to get into your kitchen and do some meal prepping as well. And with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Don't forget, give me some likes, comments. Give me a follow if you're not following me, if you enjoy my content. And with that said, have a great day, and we will see you next video.